here. I think that can come down. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Oh, yeah. So what you're watching, folks, is I'm adjusting this microphone, and I'm a little suspicious of it. All right, let's go live over here. Let's go live over here. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, that's my shirt. I see where we see my shirt as I stood up. I hate, what I hate is... I hate bad audio. So, okay, let me turn this down. Welcome, everybody. Tom Caldabiano, ELR 360 Live. I think that mic is good, right? And it's not in view, I don't think. Oh, I lost my shot. Okay, now, back to the live stream. Back to the live stream. Let's go here. Back to here. Did I lose? There we go. Okay. Sorry, folks. My entire studio got revamped. So let's hit there. Okay, that's now live. Yeah, there was a crazy amount of stuff. Hi, Janet. Hi, Linda. How do I sound, everybody? Hi, Tom. Hi, Karen Jack. Thank you for, yes, I think I'm trying something that you sent me today. Is that possible? Looking at my audio levels, yes, good there. Yes, hi, Thomas Gerard in the United Kingdom. Now, hi, Annabelle. Karen, what are your, laughing at you, lovely shirt, is it linen? So, it is linen, it's hot here. They used to make fun of me at Raymond because I would wear linen a lot. Let me see, this jacket is here. I was probably the only guy that wore linen there. And linen is such a great, it's a great material until you wear it. And then it becomes a wrinkle festival. It wrinkles instantly, but that's part of the charm, part of the look. Now, I'm going to tell you, related to this shirt, a conversation I had with someone named Jerry Seinfeld about this shirt. Let me just, okay, that is that. So then this is a reverse image. So that's that collar. Okay, I see. Now, my United Kingdom friends, there is a game today against Mexico being played in Mexico, and that means it's played at 5 p.m. my time, which is, boy, that's got to be, is that 5 a.m. for you? Because aren't you at 10:30 p.m. now? 10:30 p.m. it's 2, so 3 hours. 1 a.m.? Maybe is it 1 a.m. your time? Either way, how are you guys going to do that? Thank you. Hello, Deborah Tucker Frank. Yes. Now, do I have to say your full name? What are my legal requirements? Hello, Canada. Hello, Tony. So I guess on the East Coast, you guys are sweating. On the East Coast of the United States, you guys are sweating to death. And there's a lot of storms. 1 a.m. in the United Kingdom. Okay, yeah, a big show. So do I have my phone? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so I have a few. Okay, let me do this on my desk. First of all, how exciting is this? How exciting is the mug in yellow? The Quotes mug in yellow, such a cheerful color. I'm not sure what that beverage is. Oh yeah, I think it's, I don't know. I think it is. Something delicious. Okay. You won't, Karen, you won't be staying up. Now, do you know you won't be staying to match? Okay, so let me just frame this a little bit. This is one of my pet peeves for anybody when you're like talking inside baseball or inside soccer. The World Cup. So many games. Are they down to the final 16? I don't know the terms they use in American college basketball. They call it the March Madness and the Final Four and whatever it is. So I would say the World Cup obviously is a giant giant event of giantosity. It's the world. It's completely the world. So they're being played all over the world, all these matches. England is playing Mexico, and there's a very large population where I live of Mexicans because we're very close to, I'll give you a couple of guesses, Mexico. And the game is being played in Mexico City. Now, why am I even talking about this? Your friend Ray Romano, who you guys know from television and movies now, he did a show with James Corden. James Corden had on a player who is known, and let me get back to this screen. He is a famous player named Rio. And now, if you're from the United States, I will guarantee you, I could talk to all of my friends from, what was yesterday's date? Oh, I should know that. Hold on. July 3rd, 2026. So I know yesterday's date was July 4th, but Raymond did the show July 26th with James Corden. And a lot of interesting opinions about James Corden. I'm curious what people do think. So here, if you are from the UK, this gentleman, boy, this is a long-winded lead-up, that guy is named Rio. He is completely a new face to me. Not a clue who he is. But I sent that picture to a couple of my friends from the UK, and they were like, wow, oh my gosh. And Ray tells a story on there about being with his psychiatrist. His therapist was impressed, and here's another, this guy's a defender, I guess not as famous, who's retired, with Raymond, and Ray said his therapist was super impressed. The only time he's ever been impressed by Raymond mentioning stuff like Scorsese and De Niro doesn't impress the guy, but he was impressed by Ray with Rio. Okay, so there you go. And again, as an American, I'm not priding myself, never heard the name in my life other than a city in a country. So there you go. All right, let me catch up on comments here. And folks, I apologize for the delay. A lot of all good stuff going on, but here we go. Catching up, yes. Wow, let me scroll to the bottom. Rio Ferdinand, former soccer player. Yes, Gil, and apparently, I don't know, pretty good? I don't know. Hi, Karen Jack. I love that you still call me by my Instagram name, even though I no longer watch you via Instagram because it's your neglected stepchild. But I guess I'll always be Karen Jack to you. Yeah. So Karen, where do you watch it? I'm curious. Who watches YouTube or Facebook on a television? It's always fascinating to me because, with the help of my friend Matt, the director of photography on our children's show that we did, and many other much bigger projects, this image looks great, but I don't know if it looks great on a TV, not on a TV, on a phone, like on a TV. Does it stand out? It might more so, but I'm just curious. And it's also easier than watching on your phone. Linda, did your crossword puzzle make it off your speaker? Your crossword puzzle is on a large speaker in my living room because I know that nothing there will ever get thrown out or touched. So that is a good reminder. Let me talk to all of my producers. I have a staff of almost 14 people here, and they will scramble now, race home and get it. No, we will do something with it. It's definitely there because nothing... I've made the joke, I am in the hoarder's waiting room. I have a lot of stuff everywhere. Janet Dwyer, you are glad that I am on today. Yes, of course, for you guys. Every single Sunday. I'm very happy to do it. Hi, Carol Nicholson. Looks great on your 55-inch TV. Use Roku and YouTube app. I'm not tethered to a small device and... can feed, and I guess it keeps going from there, but you got cut off. They limited your letters, like Wheel of Fortune or something. When I had Comcast, I watched stuff on YouTube on the TV. Yeah, I think, it's not just for these kids. My friend's father, who's 80 now, I guess, he watches YouTube on his TV and almost nothing but YouTube. Hi, Karen. I watch you via Facebook now, usually on my phone, but sometimes on my iPad. Today, I have you on my iPad, but I'm also on my phone because it's easier to type there. Yeah, and dictation, Karen, I appreciate the details. Dictation, I feel bad when I see people typing. I've mentioned that I'll name drop here, but she's just a friend. Allison Janney, I would text her and she's like, how do you text me so quickly? This is like 7 years ago. How do you text so quickly? It's like she thought I was the world's record typist and I dictated, and she had no idea at that time. So yes, on the phone, I get frustrated when I'm sitting there typing, etc. All right, let me tell you, the Raymond, let me see, was there any controversy over Raymond this week? First of all, I just try and I don't have to post, but if I know that Ray is going to be on something to watch, I go with him a lot to different things. This was on the Fox lot where they do The Sound of Music and The Simpsons and stuff like that. A very storied old lot. And Ray and I, when we lived together the first season of Raymond, when I crashed in his place, we were down the street from the Fox lot. We lived at the Hillcrest Apartments with a guy named Peter Boyle directly above us. So we kind of had a little bit of a frat thing going on, and that was about 2 blocks away from where we were when Ray was doing the Fox thing. And the Fox lot, and I'll tell you a little inside story, when you go onto a movie lot, okay, and I've seen people do bits about this. Of course, it's not relatable if you've never been to a movie lot, but if you're going to visit somebody, your name has to be on the list and they need your ID. They don't go, oh, go ahead in. They might have 20 years ago, but now they're very much, and they'll be like, your ID is expired or whatever. So we are driving to the Fox lot on a Friday night, July 3rd, and it's about 8 p.m. And right before we get there, I go, oh, not only do I not have my wallet today because I forgot my wallet, but my license has expired. So I have no form to show that I'm a citizen or anything. So there is a good chance, if they're really sticklers, that they go, I'm sorry, you cannot go in. It's kind of like a little bit like on an airplane where they go, listen, I left my passport, just let me into Canada. I swear I'm not a bad person and I like syrup. So we get to the Fox lot and it is impressive, and we pull up and we're like, okay, maybe we have to call the producer. The producer's name is Eric Pinkowski. He's the same guy that produced the 30th anniversary show. So I'm like, okay, I could call Eric. I don't want to be a pain to Eric. Like, okay, we pull up to the lot and there's a young guy in the booth and I'm like, okay, here we go. And I'm also thinking, I do have my passport, but my passport is in my car, and my car is 20 minutes away because Ray and I carpooled to save money. And so I'm like, I could drive back and get my passport and be back in 40 minutes and maybe miss the entire thing. So I'm prepared for this. I pull up, there's a young guy, and he goes, and Ray pulls up, he goes, hi, Ray Romano. Yes, Mr. Romano, very nice to meet you. Yeah, okay, nice to meet you as well. Yeah, go ahead in, here's your escort, whatever. Never even look at Ray's ID, never look at the knucklehead sitting next to him with cameras all around him. And so that was the easy entry into the easiest. Always helps if you travel with a celebrity. And sometimes Ray does get, so he told a very funny story. I've been with him here. If you go to New York City is a large city in America. If you go there and you go to Greenwich Village, the exterior shot, the establishing shot of Friends is in the Village. It's an apartment building. You look up and you go, oh, there's all the Friends are living up there. So Ray would go there and he would watch all the people looking at the Friends exterior. And one time he talked to somebody from the UK who was there, happened to be from the UK, and he's like, what are they all looking at up there? And the guy's like, oh, it's from Friends. It's the apartment from Friends. And Ray's like, oh, I like Everyone's Raymond. And the guy from the UK goes, yes, that's because you are an American. And Ray said, no, that's because I am Raymond. And so then they were like, oh my gosh, it is Raymond. We watch you in the morning over in the UK. So that, Ray told that fun little story on that thing. So sometimes he does have to prove who he is. Yes, here we go. Here's Raymond in front of that apartment building. Did I take that picture? Let me see. That's the Friends at night. That is Raymond. I think yes, and that's the top of the, it's hard to tell at night, but that is Raymond. Oh no, it's hard to tell at night, but that is the Friends building is what I meant to say. So there you go. I hope you guys find that interesting. Oh, let me go over to Instagram. Like I said, oh, you know what I can do? Let me pull that over here. Instagram, yes, onto the big screen. Okay, hello, yes. You're seeing me in profile. I guess I could pull that monitor here. I will get some of the engineers, etc., who look just like me as soon as I hang up. Okay, lots of them. Okay. By the way, I appreciate you guys coming out. It's a holiday weekend. I know on the East Coast you guys are sweltering and dying, etc. Where can I go meet Ray? Good luck. I don't know. Yeah. Yes, the heat. So the problem with the heat for everybody on the East Coast, it gets incredibly East Coast. So East Coast, if you're from the United Kingdom or Australia or anywhere, when we say the East Coast and we're in the United States, we're talking about from Maine down to Florida, but really kind of New York and the Eastern Seaboard, we call it. So it gets incredibly humid. Then when you have a power outage, it gets you have no air conditioning. So it's almost like you're living in England all of a sudden. Okay, so let me catch up on these. Okay, Denise. Denise Firicano. You went to Limehoff today. The Limehoff is the Long Island Museum of Entertainment and Music Hall of Fame. I went to Limehoff today. Awesome display. Loved traffic cop Timmy. Saw the canister and the toaster. Yeah, so the canister. So for anybody, the Limehoff Museum has the most Everybody Loves Raymond, what would you call it, props and paraphernalia? That sounds like a drug term, doesn't it? They have the most, oh, I know, things from the show. And so if you go there, you'll see the canister, which there's one right behind me, you can see. The toaster, the only toaster that exists, the original toaster from the show that Roy Rosegarten lent to the museum. So I just couldn't recommend that more. I mean, people are blown away. I hope you took a picture, Denise, sitting on the couch or somewhere near the couch, etc. That would be awesome. Yeah, so that's in Long Island and worth the thing. Laura Hopkins. Okay, good, excellent question. How long would it take? Okay, Michelle Stevens. My internet has been down for days and I don't have cable, so I can't watch my daily ELR. I'm dying over here. LOL. Michelle, where are you? Where are you that you are dying over here? Now, I hope don't commit any crimes. Don't have a breakdown or anything. I'm sure it will be back. Okay, Laura Hopkins. How long would it take to write an episode? I wasn't ignoring you. I'm just like, that's a more long-winded answer, which I will give you the succinct answer. Okay, let me scroll down. Let's see this. Carol Nicholson, memorabilia. Thank you. Let me see. Weather Channel showed crowds breaking down doors to the store selling air conditioners. Wow. That's, who was the last one to turn the lights out or leave in the writer's room at the end of the day? I hate to say it, but that was pretty much me almost every day. I didn't have a family to go home to. I had complete freedom. I did anything I wanted. Now, the Raymond writer's room, was empty by 6 o'clock. So it sounds like in your mind, you're like, Tom would leave at midnight because he was a hard worker. No, Tom was not the laziest writer, but maybe I could qualify if I tried. I usually stay there late, later than most people, because I always had a million project going through my photos, guys. You love my photos. Here, let's see. Hold on one second. Don't worry. I will get back to the question about writing an episode. But the traffic cop Timmy, if I remember correctly, when I put in Brad's name, hold on, Brad Garrett. That, I knew that. See, I have a good memory. That's very off-putting when you brag about yourself. But that's the first photo. That is the first photo that comes up on the Brad Garrett 2,800 or however many photos I have on my phone. of that gentleman. Let me just see. Let me see. How many? Okay, here's a guessing game. How many photos does Tom have on his telephone of Brad Garrett? On my phone. Keep in mind, Brad Garrett is not a relative of mine, but I do have a lot of photos of him that come up instantly when I talk. That one, a great facial expression. Let's see some numbers. Let's see some guessing games. Wow. Okay, I'm looking down a lot. There's the camera. I need better camera technique. I got to look right into the lens. Okay, I got to tell you the Seinfeld thing. All right. The Seinfeld thing. So Ray did a show with Jerry Seinfeld, and we were talking about clothing. We were backstage. I'm not friends with Jerry Seinfeld. I've met him a handful of times. I find when I've spoken with him, it was Ray always there pretty much, because it was the Hermosa Beach Comedy Magic Club. It was at Comedy, the Comedy Cellar when they was filming his documentary. And then at this benefit that Jason Alexander put on. And so we were standing there backstage, just me, Ray, and Jerry, and I was asking Jerry about shirts and clothing. Now, Jerry was very, is it persnickety? That's not a word either. Having trouble with vocabulary today. Hold on, more coffee out of the beautiful yellow. Come on, folks. Is that not the most... How can you be in a bad mood when you're reading What Contest in Hell Did I Read and you're drinking coffee from this yellow mug? That is really delicious. Jerry, he's been not... when you're talking in a conversation and let's say you're hosting a show and you're struggling for words, and there's a person who either rolls their eyes and like, I thought you were professional, what's going on? Or that you just feel no support, versus someone like Carol jumps in and says memorabilia. And I say, yes, memorabilia. Thank you very much. You did not shame me, or you did not criticize me in that moment. And Jerry, I always felt, was a little bit cold. Is that the right word? By the way, Seinfeld was a hero of mine. When I would watch him, I would watch him at Rascals Comedy Club in New Jersey, and I remember not breaking the law, but you're not supposed to. I recorded his whole act, and I typed out his act because I'm like, wow, let me just see his cadence and he does not waste many words, Jerry. So I really, really, really looked up to Jerry, and he had just finished a show called Seinfeld Chronicles, which kind of got canceled. So at least it's too bad he didn't make it in TV at that time. They did 4 episodes or 6 episodes, and he was talking about it, and it was like, okay, I don't think anybody saw it, and probably it's Hollywood, so probably nothing is going to happen from that. So I go to Jerry. I know that there's a kind of stilted silence, they call it. All right, let me see. I have 163 pictures of Jerry Seinfeld. Do I really? How is that possible on my phone? But maybe it's just mention. I'm scrolling through. Maybe it's just mentions of him. Let me see if I can identify that person. So one of the beauties of that's Conan O'Brien, and so it's not me. This is not a picture I took. Don't know who that is. Okay, scrolling through. This is live. There is nothing better than Tom scrolling through his phone. So here's okay, name this person. Okay, hold on. Jerry Seinfeld. Okay, so the reason I'm doing all of this, folks, is, okay, there's, once you name a person, this is a feature in this is a feature in your phone. If that circle pops up and you name that person, then it'll search your phone for every single photo of that person on your phone. So then if this all works out and you guys are still with me, let me see, this is Jerry. Let me just see, all photos of Jerry. So it doesn't identify him, it only comes up with one. We're backstage, it's just me, Ray, and Jerry Seinfeld, and there's a little bit of an uncomfortable pause because Ray's not really friends with Seinfeld, and Ray, it's just awkward. And I go, Jerry, can I ask you something about jackets and clothes? And he said, you're choosing to interrupt our conversation to talk about clothes. Now, I'm not that, I knew what I was doing because Jerry is obsessed with clothes, and I had watched his movie that actually Ray is in, and I'm sitting next to Ray, but I'm cut out. And in the commentary, Jerry talks about his opening act and that he should be dressed in a suit jacket and a shirt. And so he goes on and on with Colin Quinn talking about it, going, how do you dress? You have to be above the audience. You have to look like you've dressed up for the show, which I don't disagree with him. Look, I'm dressed up-ish. So I knew he talked about clothes a lot. But in that moment, he decided, I'm going to zing this guy, Tom, because he chooses to interrupt. Now, what's not being said is this crazy, awkward conversation where Ray is kind of looking down and Jerry's kind of sitting there. It wasn't they were going, here's the thing, at the Algonquin Round Table, the thing about this, can I ask about, that's not what happened. It was a crazy, boring, dull thing because Ray, for as brilliant as he is a comedian, doesn't like small talk and doesn't like to socialize. So I go, Jerry, he insults me and he goes, okay, here's my theory. And I was like, oh, he jumps right in. He goes, if I am wearing a shirt with a tie, I don't have a button-down collar. If I have a shirt without a tie, I have a button-down collar because I don't want to look on the monitor and see that that has happened, that my collar has flopped over my thing. So when I put on this shirt, which my mother picked out for me, which I'm very grateful. That's a joke, folks. I 40% dress myself. So I was like thinking instantly about Jerry telling me that, etc. And when I asked the question, I was dressed almost identical to Jerry. I was wearing jeans, a blue jacket, a white shirt, and brown shoes because I knew that's kind of what he wears a lot. So there was a method to my madness. Now, it's one of the times when I missed taking a photo. I said, oh, look at that sign. And the sign had an arrow and it said stage. And both Ray and Jerry looked back and looked up at the sign. I'm like, oh, that would have been a perfect moment of them both looking up. But I did get a ton of photos of them performing. Okay, enough about Seinfeld. How long does it take to write an episode was the question. Really quickly, the way an episode starts, you got to forget the pilot if you're in doing the show. So we've talked about this many times. I'm just thinking in the process. We've talked about this many times, meaning for me, Tom episodes that he has written. The checkbook episode is an episode I wrote. That is an episode based on Raymond's real life, Ray Romano's real life. He made a fake bank checkbook, a passport savings type of book. When he and his wife worked together, Ray might have accidentally gambled away all of their money and made a fake passport savings book. So his wife said, oh, we have tons of money. And the bank said, guess what? You really don't. And she's like, but I'm looking at this book. And they're like, well, your deadbeat husband who will never amount to anything, trust us on this. He has made a fake checkbook, a fake passport savings. So leave him immediately because you'll never. And then, okay, well, maybe it did work out, but that is how the checkbook episode came about. So I pitched to Phil Rosenthal. I said, Phil, I would like to do a book about the check. I'd like to do a thing about Ray's real life. So Phil, who was a much, much, much more experienced writer in that I had one experience of writing, and that was Ray and I wrote the finale to season 1 called Why Are We Here? That was my first script. My second script was the checkbook, which I had to write alone. So Phil was incredibly helpful in guiding Ray and I in the first episode that we wrote, and then this one for the checkbook. So Phil said, okay, if you do that, if Ray is going to take over the checkbook story-wise, Tom, we know he's going to screw up. Like, the audience knows he's going to screw up. So get that out of the way quickly. So all this storytelling stuff, that's very, very important. Phil was already like, hey, I'm going to, it goes two ways. I'm going to save you some time, but I'm going to save us some time. Where you write this whole elaborate thing about we don't know that he screws it up and then eventually he screws up. Have him screw it up right away, and then have the funny part be, the funnier part be more after. So generally, you come in with an idea. Now, if it's a really, really good idea, the story, it doesn't write itself, but you're like, okay, this can happen. You see a clear path. For example, Aaron Shore and I wrote The Breakup Tape. The Breakup Tape was based on a real life thing that Aaron Shore kept a tape of a girl breaking up with him. And so he's like, hey, maybe this would be a good episode. So generally, there's a gestation process. So it could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks of trying to figure it out. And then you write a 2-page outline. Here's what happens. Robert has a new date. She comes over. They're very happy. Ray sees her eating a fly. Nobody believes Raymond. Robert goes back to her apartment and finds out that maybe she might have eaten a fly because her apartment is filled with snakes. Robert is completely desperate, despondent. He'll never find anybody. His mother thinks he's gay. And then we see at the end he's just having a drink and he accidentally trips a waiter and spills, the waiter spills drinks all over Amy, the girl that he's treated like a yo-yo. So that what I just pitched to you, you guys know the story, right? If you guys hadn't seen the story, you'd be, oh, that's kind of interesting, Tom. I wonder that she eats a fly. Okay. No one believes. Okay, that's the story. So you pitch out that story. That's a 2-page outline. Everything that happens in the scene. That might take a week to figure out. You might have trouble. They call it breaking the story. You might have trouble with a portion. Like how do we break this open? Like what becomes this? What makes this story really work? So then you write this outline, and then once the outline is approved by Phil, in our case, and by the way, all the writers read it as well, and they go, does this make sense? Is this a repeat beat? All this feedback. You finish that. Then once you're signed off on this outline, you go off to write a script. And then you go alone, and that should take you, if you can write 5 pages a day, you are very prolific, okay? 5 pages a day, a script is 40 pages. What does that work out to? 8 days to write. 8 times 5, is that 40? So there you go, about 8 days to write, and then it's 5 days. Then there's another process where it goes to Phil, and he reads it, gives you notes. Then you go again, you address his notes. Then the script is done. You hand it to all the writers. They give you notes. Then it starts production. That's a whole week. So there you go. So let's just say, realistically, for a well-written and rehearsed and gone over and noted and not rushed, you're really talking 6 to 8 weeks to make a Emmy-winning script. Now, having said that, there are shows where they're like, we need a script tonight. And then all the writers stay up all night and write an entire show and crank it out in one night. Not the way to do a show at all. So there you go. Okay, that's why I skipped past how long does it take to write an episode, because I could have said 8 weeks, and then that goes on. Okay, let's scroll down and catch up. He went to people heaven. Use the phrase all the time. Okay, I'm catching up. Did Aaron keep his breakup tape for the same reason as Ray? And was the name also Karen? So Ray kept it because Aaron sure kept it. He didn't know why he kept it, really. It was just a weird thing, and I think his wife found it. But it was a girl. I can't remember. Did we listen to the tape? I don't know. I don't remember. But he just was, Aaron is just what you would call neurotic. Almost said. Okay, let's just see. Let me go back. Wow, so many good questions. Let me go to Instagram, which never, ever gets looked at. Instagram, neglected, joined. Yeah, almost nobody asks questions anymore. Good afternoon, I see. Let me see. Wow, these are funny ones. Will ever come here with you? Yeah, Ray's been here 3 times with me. We haven't done it in the new studio. Persnickety is a word, okay. Have got an English treats to go with your tea or coffee. Joanne, have you got, okay. The shortens. It's always persnickety. Is that in New Jersey? Funny. Did I say persnickety? I guess I did, right? Describing Seinfeld? Okay. Sorry, I missed that. Over 1,000, 15,000. That was a great episode. 725. Oh, okay. Yes. Sorry. I already forgot that I asked that question. Tom, can you tell us a little about your stand-up comedy days? Sure. Tom, you should do an ELR marathon in theaters and serve Marie's cake and Deborah's lemon chicken. That would be such a blast. Yes. I have to say, yeah, let me see. I've thought, this hangout because, again, we're going to be doing the podcast, and a lot of you are like, I don't care about a podcast, but a lot of people, most people have no clue that this channel, that our Facebook page exists, even though we're going to hit 100,000 followers. But at the height of Raymond, we would get 20 to 30 million viewers. And as we said, the 30-year anniversary special got a lot of viewers. And oh, that's right, we're getting feedback about the my introduction video. So a podcast just reaches a lot more people, is the bottom line. But I would love to do a whole day marathon of just hanging out with you guys in the background. I'm just talking all day. Why not try that? I'm curious if you guys would. Okay. Now I'm caught up. Wow. New Jersey. Son lived there. Yes. A little cooler. Okay. Weather talk. Tom, where are you broadcasting from? Hi, Colleen Davis Dunn. Let me bring that up. Where are you broadcasting from? I'm here in South Florida, and weather in the high 90s and humidity in the 80s. Yes, but that's how it is always in Florida. You're not expecting that in the United Kingdom, etc. South Florida, that's kind of a cold snap, no? I'm in Los Angeles, they call it. Hollywood, I guess they call that. Yes, etc. So, let's see, Lynn Van Orden. Hi, Lynn. Hi, it's on in the background, the one with the math teacher. He's also brilliant. Sorry, meant to say that was in France. Okay, I lost that one. Tom, yes, the cake, the marathon. About your stand-up comedy days. Yes, I can. Donnell, you're guessing 8,000 Brad Garrett photos, right? Let's see some other. Let me see. Who designed Ray's basement? That would be the set. The art department, which is Sharon Bussey, LJ Houdyshell, Houddyshell. Is that right? Donna Stamps, set decorator, set designer. I got to get those right. I don't want Donna to be mad at me. Yes, I will talk about my stand-up, etc. Tom, did you experience occasionally being in front of the camera, such as when you made a cameo, change how you approach writing the character interaction? Excellent question. I would say no, because that, when I was on camera, it was on camera as a photographer. That was just, I was focused on take the photos so that I would not disappoint Phil. So, because you can't go, hey, Phil, listen, the whole thing about putting the film in the camera, I forgot that part because I was so nervous. But I took so many photos of Robert's wedding so that Phil had enough to pick from, to select from. So that I was focused on. When I did Captain Nemo, it was a small line. So I don't really, the one thing that I will say, being on set and acting in front of the camera, it really goes away. Now, I've said this before. Some people have been like, you've ruined it for me. I thought this was a real house. You're a terrible person. So when you're on set and you're going, how do Ray and Deborah in a bedroom scene have 4 cameras and they're being, it really goes away. You're focused on that person. So when I had to introduce Katarina Witt, such a minor thing, but I'm just looking at her and I'm waiting for the feed line, and you're really focused in that moment. So I would recommend anybody to take an acting class. It can't help but help you in your life. So yeah, it didn't really change my thought about writing at all, but that's an excellent question. Okay, I'm going to show the number. Janet, 5,000. Gil's guessing 2,900, over 1,000. Yes, Marie's sculpture. I'm so live stream still work on my LTE service. LOL, I can't get anything else to load. Okay, Michelle, that's very inside baseball. But what you're saying is you have no internet, but your LTE cell phone service allows you to see me live, and that's good. I love that coffee cup. Yes, persnickety, is that from New Jersey? Bob Silva, very funny. Piscataway, yes. Linda, yes, very good. Jerry had Leonid and Friends open for him recently. My favorite band. Check them out, touring the U.S. Janet, that's the Chicago cover band from the Ukraine or something, right? And that can't be a lucky guess. I have to know it. Loretta Swift is from New Jersey. Yes, Schenectady is different. Will Ray ever come on here with you? Okay, I'm catching up. Yes, he's done it 3 times. You love that Jerry Seinfeld story. That's a Jerry Seinfeld story. Joke, clothes laid out by his mother. Wow. While listening to that Jerry Seinfeld story, I felt a little like Deborah in the Season Greetings episode. Oh, he's a bitch. I mean, he's a comedian. And you have, I feel bad because a couple times I've said snarky comments because that's what you do as a comedian. You take a risk, and people are like, this Tom, and I got some negative feedback from people. Okay, I'm going to show you the number of Brad Garrett pictures. Bob Silva, have you ever been involved in a page 1 rewrite? Not really. No. Well, so never on Raymond because of Phil was so, the process was so that no one would go. So what would happen, folks, what Bob is referring to is you take a script, which I'll show you. I don't think I've shown you this one before. You take a script and the star comes in and goes, this doesn't work. And he throws it out the window and all the writers are scared to death of losing their job. So they go, okay, everybody, page 1. Terrible way to run a show. That's what he's talking about, a page 1 rerun. That rewrite, that would happen a lot on shows like with certain stars. I won't name them so I can keep the opportunity to potentially work with them. But big giant stars who were known to fire their entire writing crew, and those people never won Emmys for writing because you can't write a script under duress and that type of work environment. Anytime you are really mean to people and questioning, can it work? I guess in the short term, maybe it does, but people want to stab you and kill you, and that's not a good work environment. Not inspiring for sure. So no, Bob, I haven't. I've been in sessions where there's a lot of notes and the person either decides, oh, I'm going to do the notes or not do the notes, etc. But excellent question. Excellent question. Okay. Deb Tucker Frank. Yes. Oh yes. Oh yes, a marathon. Please bring it to Sydney. Now, yes. All I Want for Christmas, season 2, episode 12. Andy and Aaron hilariously hook up at the end of the episode. Being the same pathetic energy, was that always the intended ending, or did it evolve in the writer's room to mirror Ray and Deborah's? No, that was always the ending. So did it evolve? That would be a good question. Steve Scrovan wrote All I Want for Christmas. That's where they come in, Ray's vacuuming, and says, we usually hang ours on the door. That episode, so which is available as a Christmas ornament on our page, just a gentle sales reminder. Yeah, I think we'd have to ask Steve Scrovan, because he will tell you that. But as far as I know, that's what it was. And she, by the way, the woman that played Aaron's a famous voiceover actress. She is unfortunately no longer with us, but Michelle and Marathon, Amy had the best dress. Yes. I would love for you to do a one-day watch. It was 102 here in Carolina yesterday. What happened to that man, Russell, that sold the hockey card to Ray, his comic book store, Tom? Hi, Karen. Yeah, Russell was not available for when we needed to do stuff. I can get into more details, but it's kind of boring stuff. But he just wasn't available, and there was a 3-story arc, so he had to make the first one. Or Phil was like, I have to recast, otherwise I have 3 episodes that I can't do it because of the engagement, all that stuff. So, but we wanted him. Hi, Deb Tucker Frank. Let's do that. I'm glad you got your air conditioning back. The Checkbook, season 2, episode 16. Andy's role as the reality check. Andy is the one who delivers the harsh truth to Ray at Nemo's about $300 overdraft fees. Why did you choose Andy's character to break the bad news rather than having the bank or Deborah do it directly? Well, okay, think that one through. If Deborah knew, then the show ends at that page. So Deborah can't know that. Ray needs to have Ray has to have a possibility to fix it. If Deborah tells the news, he's already dead. He's screwed. So that bank scene, that silent movie bank scene, where Deborah's there and we're watching, all that goes away. None of that can happen. If the bank calls, so how does the bank? So here's one thing that I learned from Phil. Anytime you have a chance to have your characters do something that logically someone else would do, perhaps you've hurt the show. So you need to have that character deliver that information. So Andy, we know Andy, we love Andy. He's like, Ray, you're in trouble. You're in serious trouble here, versus an unknown bank person. Now, if you have to have an immovable object deliver that, then you have the bank, the dreaded bank deliver the news, just like the FBI agent filled that purpose. Okay, do we try? Where are we now? Let me see. Hi, Mona. Okay. Annabelle, you're really going specific. 2,473 Brad Garrett photos on your phone. Let me see this. Let me see. Okay, wow. Okay. Did Rich Romano, that's Ray's brother, who's the policeman, give the writers any specific feedback to or notes on how a police ride-along actually goes down? That's a great question. I'm going to tell you a great Rich Romano story. So the answer is, I don't know if if we would have asked him that. That is a total possibility. So Richard wasn't on the end of the line every time. Let's call him up and ask Richard. But Ray, here's an interesting thing, and talking about somewhat haphazard, and here's let's call this a Hollywood story. So Ray did a movie called The Big Sick. It's very, very good. I highly recommend it. Produced by Judd Apatow. Kumail Nanjiani and his wife wrote it. Kumail's in it. Holly Hunter, who I believe has an Oscar or two, maybe, definitely is an amazing actress. So it's a really, really good movie. So there's an deliberately awkward scene where Ray is talking to Kumail, and he's asking about 9/11. And the joke in there, I don't want to destroy that joke. Oh, let me see. Let me see if I have a message. Hold on. Before I tell this, let me just take another sip. This is called the empty cup syndrome. There you go. Where's the light hit it? Yeah, it's a beautiful yellow color. I have to say. Okay, let me see. Yes. Okay. Let's see. What is the question? What is the question I was on? I already forgot. I've seen 3 different questions and 3 different things. Yes. Okay. The Big Sick. Okay, so we're shooting that in I helped on The Big Sick. What does that mean? A lot of times, much like on Raymond, I would give Ray lines. He calls them second takes, and we work that aside from writing, etc. But we were very comfortable, and one of the most together. And one of the most important things is knowing when to shut up, not to talk in any way. So what does that mean? On The Big Sick, there was an event where someone had an acting coach there, and the director would yell cut, and the acting coach would run up to one of the actors and be like, okay, and it undercuts the authority of the director. So even if you'd like, oh, I have such great notes, go to the director. So when Phil Rosenthal would give notes, we would all talk to him for notes. Like initially we would try and give notes, and then Phil's like, listen, everybody go towards me, even if I trust you implicitly, but it has to be a single voice. And on a director, on a movie, director's king. So if you go up and start yelling stuff on the floor, it just doesn't work. It's terrible. So that's part of the relationship, is knowing when to hang back, not say anything. Because even when I would give Ray lines or jokes to say, Holly Hunter's like, do you have any jokes for me? And I'm like, oh, I know Ray's voice, and you're not a comedian. You're a brilliant actress, but I can't. It's really not good. It's a not good thing to say. Because also Ray knows when to, like, let me try something or let me not try something. So we're on the set of The Big Sick. It's in Long Island in a hospital, and they're in the cafeteria, and Ray's going to ask Kumail about 9/11. And Ray's character is kind of like, I always wanted to ask people about 9/11. And he's kind of clumping Kumail into the group of terrorists that took down the tower, but Ray doesn't say that. Ray's character doesn't say that. He's just like, yeah, I always wanted to talk to people about 9/11. And Kumail's character's like, you've never talked to people about 9/11? And he's like, well, and he goes, and Kumail's like, yeah, it's tragic. We lost, 16 of our best men. And Ray looks like what? Ray's character looks like that. Ray's brother is on the set, hanging out with us. And Ray's brother comes over to me and goes, Tom. And I go, what's up, Richard? And he goes, now keep in mind, Ray's brother I've known forever. Ray's brother was the coach of our baseball team way before ever was Raymond, and he would be very serious, and he would be like, Raymond, your friends are making jokes, and we're down by 3 runs. And Ray would go, Richard, they're comedians. Like, we're not in the World Series. We're playing under a bridge. We're playing under the 59th Street Bridge. So Richard comes over and goes, Tom, listen, there were 19 hijackers, not 16. And I go, oh, that's kind of an important fact. So I go over to whoever. Michael Showalter was the director. And I'm like, hey, I think maybe I went to Ray, too. I'm like, Ray, Richard, maybe we both walked over. I can't remember. I have to find pictures. When did we film that? May of 2016, maybe. Let me see if I can find Ray. This would be good. Don't worry, I didn't forget about the Brad Garrett thing. Okay. So that change happened. So Richard, if he wasn't on the set, The Big Sick movie would have the wrong number of terrorists in that joke. Now, do people even remember now? It's just funny because it was such a thing. And now it's like, how many were? Just like the space program when they were like watching every second. And then they're like, oh yeah, John Glenn, which one was he? Okay, so Kumail Nanjiani. That's a better way. Okay, so for those of you, I highly recommend, here is the movie, The Big Sick. Okay, it is enjoyable. I don't know one person who watched that and didn't enjoy themselves. Okay, so that doesn't help me. Hold on. May 2016. Okay. So here is Raymond with Peter Boyle's wife. Boy, I should just go through my phone one day while we're talking to you guys. This is at the Doris Roberts service in New York City. They had a service at a theater, and this was afterwards. There's a famous place in New York that's called, like, is it Sardi's? I want to say it's Sardi's. So we had an after event there in Sardi's. Okay, so here, this is the power of the phone. Okay, so there's Ray and Kumail going over lines. That's actually in an apartment for one of the later scenes, and I remember the air conditioning broke there, and it was blistering hot. So am I going to be able to find pictures of Richard that day? I don't know. Let me see. Richard, we went for pizza. Okay. Oh, here's the hospital. So, but I don't think this will help us. Okay, I'm going to abandon this, but I will post a picture of Richard Romano on the set of The Big Sick. And so there you go. So going back to the ride-along, I don't remember. We'll have to ask Richard. But I know Ray was very protective of Richard as a policeman, of the Robert character portraying him. So my guess is yes, there was some consultation, as they say. There was a pending question. Oh, okay. Let's solve this. How many pictures does Tom have of Brad Garrett on the phone? Okay. Brad Garrett. See, it says Richard. It says Seinfeld Brad Garrett. Okay, there are. Ready? I'm going to hold up this number. Final guesses, please. Pencils down. The answer is 4,127 photos. That's how many I have right there. I got it. let me see for Instagram. Oh yeah, for Instagram, I'm really nailed it. 4,127 photos, folks. How impressive is that? Oh, I have another way. Let me see. Richard Romano. Okay, so Richard Romano, I have only 1,200 photos of Richard. So let me see. Oh, here's one I looked for a long time ago. I could never find it. Remember the bachelor party episode, everybody? This was the night of the bachelor party in real life. There's Raymond, Richard, and myself at a restaurant called Cod El Sol, which is an industry standard. There's Richard. Okay, I got to do this for Instagram. Raymond, Richard, and yours truly in Cod El Sol. And it was just dinner with three of us. Okay, so let me see. How do I possibly find, oh, here it is. Here, this is not it. But this is a photo that I meant to post a long time ago. I just have to scan it. It is so much confusion. Ray's policeman's brother's name is Richard. Ray's school teacher's brother's name is Robert. So he has two brothers. One's a cop, one's not. But there were only two characters. There was only Ray and Robert on the series. So Ray said, my brother Robert is neglected. Let me give the policeman the name Robert to at least give. So this is a beautiful picture of Ray's family that nobody has ever seen before. Richard, Raymond, Albert, Lucy, and Robert. Okay, there we go. All right, I have to try a snack. We're going to run out of time. No, we guess first. We guess the script. I don't think I've shown this one. So for those of you, Ray was on TV, right? On that, you saw a current one. Oh, that's what I was going to show you guys also. Ray's brother. Let me catch up on some comments. Holy moly. Way behind on comments. Okay. Ray's son was there last night, one of his twins. So let's just see, one of his twins, let's just get rid of this, and then I go to this, and then this is here, and now I want to look for, this is fireworks, yes, plenty of fireworks, and so Ray's son would be, so Ray has twin sons, Greg and Matthew, and they changed the name. He changed the name of the twins after the first episode because he wanted his twins to have a little bit of anonymity. And a lot of people are confused by that. Why did he need anonymity? I'm having pronunciation problems. Oh, boy. Okay, here we go. Yes. Here we go. No, I don't. I'll post it for you guys. This is us in the mirror. Got to get rid of my face, and then you can see it. There's Raymond trying on his jacket before he goes live. Okay, so let's see. Okay, you will. This is a great episode. You'll guess it, but I want to clear up something when I show you these pictures. Okay, starting with this person, Patricia Heaton. Okay. It's funny because now you look back, you're like, this is her. I don't know, what color is that? Is that green? Okay, I got to do it for Instagram. Would you call that green? Maybe more yellow. Here we go. We're going with Patty. Can you guess this episode? I don't know if I love that dress. You don't have to tell her that, but that looks better. It's just a weird angle. So there we go. Oh, sorry, Instagram. There, believe it or not, is Instagram safe. Okay. Trying to guess. Trying to go down. Mustard, you're calling it. The one with parenting class. Oh, interesting. I don't know if I can answer that. The one with parenting class. Okay, this will give a clue. There's a reason I'm starting this way. Okay. There we go. That's Instagram safe. There's Raymond. Okay, let me see if we have any guesses. These are really, really The strange thing is, even though they changed the twins' name, they didn't change Allie's name. Yes, you are correct. Maybe Ray does not. Is not worried about Allie's name. Okay, here we go. I don't think anyone's going to catch this. The problem is if I turn to a certain page, you'll get it instantly. So, and once you guys get it, I will give you a little bit of trivia. Okay, this is called, do you know what the thing is called? Does anybody know what the copper thing that I'm trying to fix is called on a script? I know what it's called. Do you guys know what this is called? Oh no, did I just show the title? I don't think so. Okay, Patty, let's do this. Yes, Patty looking at jewelry. Good bone structure. Okay. TV's Ray Romano, and there is Peter Boyle in all of his plaid glory. Okay. Okay, let me see this. I'm going to keep going because we're going to run out of time again. It's too much fun. Ah, Doris. Okay, Doris, the best wardrobe, I think, of anybody on the show. Do you think? Okay. Tom Caltabano here, by the way, writer on Everett Raymond. I saved all of these wardrobe scripts from the dumpster, and now I am sharing them with you. They always shoot the actress and her jewelry. So this should be a close-up of her. Oh, yeah, we could make a whole, there we go. Her brooches have their own fan club. That's how popular they are. Okay, Doris. There we go, Doris. I'm just going to show you Doris's. There we go. Has anybody come close to guessing it? Let me just look here. I'm terrible at this. Sorry, Frank's foot. I love Doris. Binder clips, I believe. I used them years ago at school. We call them Brads. Okay, so I guess, what would you call it? Like a victory lap that Donnell gets to take? Ray's on TV. Correctly guessed by Donnell. Donnell, I think, do I still have a snack from you to try? Because we're going to try one right now. Okay, here's what I couldn't show you, because if I did, there we go. Kevin James as Kevin Daniels. Okay, so what did I want to just say real quickly, because there's a lot of comments about that, and we can slice these up. Pat, was it? No, not Pat Summerall. There was somebody else. There's Kevin in full plaid again. Am I getting that? Yes. Okay, so Kevin James was Kevin Daniels on Everybody Loves Raymond. A lot of people write, you're trying to slip something past us. I feel like I've talked about this a lot. But Kevin James, Phil, Ray, we all loved Kevin James, exceptionally funny. Then somebody wrote, Michael Whitehorn and David Lett, King of Queens, and they cast someone named Kevin James in that show. And then he became, what is Kevin's last name on the show? Do we all know? But people are like, wait a minute, you kind of made him a delivery man, but then he was this. So the order happened that Kevin James was a stand-up who knew Ray. Ray used him in Everett Raymond as much as he could. We wrote an episode called Don't Howard Robert's Feet. That was the Dr. Subaru Sundram, who was named after my doctor. Golf. We wrote the episode Golf together. Then Kevin gets cast in King of Queens. Then he becomes the star of King and Queens, a CBS show. Then CBS says, listen, guys, you can't use Kevin James as Kevin Daniels. You can use Kevin as Kevin. All right, you guys. You know this. All right, let's try a snack. Let me catch up on a couple of questions before I miss. Doug Heffernan. Yes. And that was my guess too, Brad's, because that's what was on the box when I was still working. Annabelle, yes, they are called Brad's. That is correct. She's a classy lady, Marie. I would agree with that. Kevin Heffernan. Does anybody know Kevin James' real last name? Does anybody know that? A little trivia. Okay, here we go. Reaching back. Oh my gosh. This is really heavy. Okay, let me just do this. Here's the canister, folks. They made a couple because they got thrown down the steps. It is very loud. It is steel. Okay. Oh, here we go. This, I believe... Here, let me just hold this up. Here we go. Peppermint bark. Oh, hold on. This is important. Hello? I'm doing very well, Benny. Benny, I'm doing a live thing right now, but anytime, are you good anytime this week? What's the soonest you could get there? Oh yeah, we could do that. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Bye bye. Okay, folks, why would Tom do that? That's rude, right? Inconsiderate. My faucet, my kitchen faucet, has been broken for such a long time. I don't want to say it's a long enough time where I can turn. Well, it's a boring fact, but trying to. Oh boy, I'm already distracted. Holy moly, does this look good? Okay, so that's why I had to take that call. That has been chasing a plumber. It is today Sunday in LA. Okay, peppermint bark, courtesy of Karen Giacalone, who is married to Bob. Okay, this feels, I feel like I need a bib and like a lobster claw. Okay, wow. I think we have to make a pact that my dentist does not hear about what I'm about to eat. Oh my goodness, this, okay. It's been refrigerated. Okay, hold on. Ugh. That is a train. Do you guys hear the train? Okay, hold on. Wow. Okay, so this looks unbelievably decadent and delicious. Oh. Ooh. The ooh is because they don't say shard when you're eating a dessert, but a shard of peppermint bark might have just speared me. It's very good. The injury, I'm not even, oh my gosh, it's magnetic. It is magnetic. Stuck to my computer. Sorry, folks. The chewing sound. If you hate chewing sound, you are about to click off because. There you go. Peppermint bark remnants. Here's what's bizarre. Okay, that was the longest I think I've ever chewed anything because it's bark. I mean, it's like bark. It's not that sweet. I was expecting my teeth to hurt, but doesn't this look, it looks like it's going to be, wow, is this, you can't call it health food, but it doesn't taste as, here, let me hold up another chunk without getting over the keyboard. There we go. Once my, oh, see, it likes my eyes. Let me pull it back to the light. There we go. Whoa, this is phenomenal. What is in it? Can someone tell me what's in it? Karen, maybe? Wow, I can't wait to share this. But, oh, I think it's because it's got nuts. It tastes... Okay, here's another piece. I'm going to try this. Oh. Oh, yes. Okay, so you can't eat this if you had dental work, but you can eat this if you want dental work. That's the path. So unique. Sorry, I'm without words because I'm like, I'm waiting for this blast of sweetness, and it's not coming. It's really good. Note to self, no white shirts during peppermint bark tests. By the way, Is this a known thing? Is this me going, oh wow, a chocolate chip cookie? I've never heard of that. Okay, here we go. I'm giving this an 8.6. It's phenomenal. Because it's not that sweet. I would eat this all day long. I may eat this all day long. Okay, final questions, folks, because we signed on and there were a lot of fans, and now, oops, I don't make noise with that. I really do have to buy a comb, buy a Humvac for my keyboard. Okay, here we go. Okay, what am I looking at? Ah, yes, let's check Instagram. Hi. Wait, who is... Woodhouse joined. That's very interesting. Okay, sound is perfect. Wow, scrolling down. I've never seen you eat this much of a weekly treat. Yeah, it's, you know why? I don't feel guilty eating that. So I'm going to maybe have that for dinner. Doug Heffernan, let's go back. Chocolate covered cashew brittle, Tom. Oh my God. Let me see this. You picked the wrong box, LOL. Yay, my goal is at least an 8.0. Karen Jack, thank you so much. Is it in a different box or something? This could be an episode. Yes, this is hilarious. Okay, stop saying peppermint bark and stop showing the box. Stop saying peppermint bark and stop showing the box. I don't know what that means, Karen. Oh, you put... Okay, see, I can't read. So, wait a minute. I've been scammed. Oh, the card. Yeah, where's the card? Sorry, where is the card? I don't know. Okay, sorry, Karen. Now you're getting... So it's not peppermint bark. Read your comments. Yeah, because I was chewing, everybody. I can't read the comments, and then my plumber called. Okay, that's why. This is super healthy tasting. Let me see. Yeah, I don't get the messages, so now I'm reading it. Everybody, it's all together. Yell. It's not peppermint bark. Okay. Yeah, because if I don't see the messages, then okay. Here we go. Yes, I did. Okay, yeah. I forgot. It's okay. There's the card. That is a very nice card, Karen. Okay, so you sent me a card. I did read it, but I read it when I got it, and you said, "Do not let this sit on the back of your car on the in the direct sunlight." Do it, bada bing, bada boom. Let me see. Does it say? Stuff like crack. Okay, I hope. Okay, wait. Cashew brittle does not disappoint. I will write everybody an apology. Everybody that was screaming, saying, Tom, it's not peppermint bark. Here, let me just frustrate you a little bit more. There we go, folks. Tom did not eat peppermint bark, just to clear up. So wait, who made is it homemade cashew brittle? Is that stated in the card? This is almost like, this is quite a mystery. This is like the disappearance of Amelia Earhart. Like this, I don't know. I hope this long-awaited does not just a fair warning, like crack, hot performing. Yeah, you weren't kidding. Also, please store it in the fridge. I did that a week ago. Yes. So did you make it? It's not clearly stated. Sorry, folks. See, could there be a verbal announcement of the messages? So I'm looking at the camera, and then I have to look down. So when I'm chewing, I'm doing nothing. But like, you know how the shark, when they describe the shark's eyes rolling back when they bite into a human, that's what you're seeing from me. So not paying attention. Okay, but at least we cleared that up. So who made it? And I've never had peppermint bark, never heard of it. What does peppermint bark taste like? Does anybody know? Somebody knows. The peppermint bark people are going to call me up. So, okay, Karen, did you make it or did you buy it somewhere? It's a fake thing. Yes, what is my score for not peppermint bark? Okay, folks, I talked about it to you at the ATX Festival. I told you you couldn't make it yet because of my broken arm. Now it's coming back to me. Karen, you were injured. And I said, can't Bob, your husband, is his arm broken too? Just as like an empathy break. You said, I'm going to make it. So why does it taste healthy and not so sweet? Now it's all coming back to me in like out of a movie moment, a flush of memories coming to me. Why can't Bob help? Did we establish that? It's like reaching up and doing that. So what is the nutritional? You don't ask for a dessert, but it tastes suspiciously healthy. So I'd like to know the ingredients of that. Okay, let's do some final things. Did I miss anything? Yes, actually, I wasn't drinking wine that night, was I? Did someone buy me a wine? Excellent. No, I can't. I can't. That. By the way, the amount of stuff that has happened since last Monday, let alone since Austin. We also talked about in a live. You suggested that Bob make it. Yes, he didn't have the skill set. Yes, I understand that. Let me see. The most entertaining sampling of goodies ever. Yeah. All right. We need the ingredient list. There we go. Okay. Oh, a mean comment. I love mean comments from people. Let me block this person. Wow. See, I always wonder when you're sitting there home and you write a mean comment to me, are you feeling, I feel sorry for that person because I'm like, they're feeling that bad about themselves. They're like, I'm going to attack somebody on the internet today. Okay. I have to report them and block them. Yes, that's power. All right, folks, you have been awesome as usual. Tom Caltabiano here, signing off. Let me see. Do we have? Oh yeah, we were a little. Now I have tea. There we go. This is the light blue. I'm so excited. We have all these new colors. Folks, see you all next week. I'm apologizing for the inadvertent promotion of peppermint bark. There's going to be a rampant amount of orders. They're going to be like somebody reviewed our product and absolutely loved it. Does everybody know what peppermint bark is? Good luck to the UK. Good luck to Mexico. A bunch of worldwide fans watching that tonight, etc. And I think actually the Mets won today, which is almost like a national holiday they should have because it's a very rare occurrence. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great week. Keep your questions coming. I love it when you guys jump in and answer questions for other people. Keeping Everybody's Raymond alive. I'm going to be editing that introduction video. I appreciate all of the feedback from you guys. That was temp music, temp stuff, but I've included you in on the process. This is kind of the same process that would happen on a TV show when you're editing and going, maybe this, maybe that, and you'll see how much it can possibly change. All right. See you all next week.